Well, good afternoon, everyone. And I'm going to do this is going to be a Silence No More video. Something that I've been working on, and I felt it needed attention in our current hot mess of a world that we're living in. So I'm going to start off with I'm going to do like a Dear John letter, so to speak. Dear solicitor, agent, assignee, commissary, delegate, deputy, envoy, factor, minister, attorney, lawyer. There are 80 synonyms of attorney in Webster's dictionary, just so everyone is aware. Google it yourself and find out. I hope this video finds all of you well. If this is the first time that you're tuning in, I'm going to make an introduction to myself. For those of you that already know me, you can take an intermission or whatever. Go get a coffee, go get a glass of water, get some popcorn, whatever. Take a pause, fast forward. I would like to introduce myself to you. I wrote this letter and then I adjusted it so that it could be used for anyone that falls into the attorney, lawyer, like I said, solicitor, agent, blah, blah, blah. My name is Natalie R. Kokanowski, and I'm a former resident of Elkhart, Indiana. Born and raised putting myself through college, I obtained 2 college degrees. After obtaining said degrees, I started my accounting practice and set up my office in the hood of Elkhart, or at least that's what I was told. The problem is that all those humans that said to me about having my practice in the hood have their own issues to endure. I loved where my office was located. I could walk to work. I never have, nor never will discriminate a person of color. And for those of you that didn't know where my office is, if you Google this, it was 1418 West Indiana Avenue. It was a little house converted into the office, and it was a perfect size for me. Just perfect, and all my wonderful clients. During my 18 and a half years in practice, I saw and heard things that were extremely difficult to digest. The biggest issue was with clients who were screwed over by our justice system that's been badly broken for years. I mean, there's a lot of issues, but this is a huge factor. I was a victim myself of the corruption within our legal system when I was 4 years old. So think about that in 1969. My biological mother made sure she was awarded full custody of me and my sister. In addition, she forbid my father and only biological grandparents from ever contacting me or my sister once the divorce was final. In fact, I'm going to add, she even let us open up gifts that they sent, and then she'd take them away and mail them back. She was that evil. My mother was previously adopted in a closed adoption. So that's why my father's parents were the only biological grandparents we had. At the time of the divorce, I was 4. I have discovered after years of questions that she, my mother, whom was a registered nurse, was poisoning me. She used rat poison. Then when blemishes on my body appeared, she immediately took me and my sister to Dr. Abel for tetracycline. That still is in my body. That when I went to my doctor, he could still see it, and I haven't had tetracycline in years. So it was a rat poison. It was hidden before. It ain't hidden no more because he's getting rid of he got rid of the other poisons. Now he's coming to the ones that have been hidden. That's what's so great about holistic medicine. They look for things that the traditional doctors don't. She poisoned me, and when my hands, legs, and feet swelled, instructed me to hike them in the air until the swelling went down. Remember, she was a registered nurse. Not once did she take me to the doctor for any of the swelling. Not once. How dangerous is rat poison to humans? Zinc phosphide is one rat poison that can still be found in certain retail stores. In humans, this can cause cough, difficulty breathing, pulmonary edema, cardiomyopathy, shock, and other various serious health problems. I've had my whole life. She wanted full custody to hurt my father and beloved grandparents because she would get child support. I mean, why else keep children if you're going to abuse them constantly, right? It's always about the money. Follow the money and you find the corruption. The reason for the above detailed explanation is for you to fully understand the magnitude of my voice that is needed to help a mother or father gain custody of his or her beloved children. A case file I'm currently working on involves several children of varying ages. They are at risk of being left in a home that is not a home any child should be living in. Are you a father or a mother? How many children do you have? How would you feel if you were in a custody battle with your spouse and he or she was given full custody because he or she had the money to hire an attorney and you didn't? Or find an attorney who is able to assist, then runs when he or she discovers the corruption within a city's justice system is more than he or she can digest. How would you like to have your beloved children ripped away from you and not allowed to see them? How would you like to not see them for months or years? Here's where the problem lies. Oodles and oodles of attorneys are not doing their homework properly these days. To be honest, attorneys have not been doing their homework for years. There seems to be this overwhelming disconnect from said attorneys and the oath they took upon passing the bar exam. When did this happen in your life? That's to all you attorneys, agents, the whole list, the 80 synonyms for you. When did you stop practicing law? The law you promised under oath to uphold? Rule 22, the oath for attorneys under Indiana law. And I'm just going to read that one. I could go and do all 50 of them, but there's no sense in that. We're just going to read one because they're all about the same. Upon being admitted to practice law in the state of Indiana, my hometown, Elkhart, Indiana, city of a heart, with a heart, each applicant shall take and subscribe to the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Indiana. I will maintain the respect due to courts of justice and judicial officers. I will not counsel or maintain any action, proceeding, or defense which shall appear to me to be unjust. But this obligation shall not prevent me from defending a person charged with a crime in any case. I will employ for the purpose of maintaining the causes confided to me such means only as are consistent with truth. Consistent with truth. One more time, consistent with truth. And never seek to mislead the court or jury by an artifice or false statement of fact or law. I will maintain the confidence and persevere and preserve and violate the secrets of my client in every peril to myself. I will abstain from offensive personality and advance no fact prejudicial to the honor or reputation of a party or witness, unless required by the justice of the cause with which I am charged. I will not encourage either the commencement or the continuance of an action or proceeding from any motive of passion or interest. I will never reject for any consideration personal to myself the cause of the defenseless, the oppressed, or those who cannot afford adequate legal assistance. So help me God. Just so everybody understands, that's an oath in Indiana, and they're like that all over. When did the corrupt system suck you in, or have you been participating in the corruption all along? I've never met any of you that I'm talking to, at least I don't think. There may be an attorney that I have, so you would be exempt from this portion of it. What I've seen thus far in the justice system has upset me to no end. I'm livid what attorneys are doing daily to children and the prosecuted/accused parent. How on earth can you sleep at night knowing you were instrumental in securing said children in a house of hell? My suggestion, open thy Bible and start learning, plus repent. I am sick to death of attorneys' greed and avoidance of those beloved laws our founding fathers wrote for our protection. These laws were written to protect the innocent, just like said children, not so the law could be twisted to suit a client. If I prepared tax returns like attorneys practice law, I would be incarcerated. Any attorney that is negating said laws should be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest. I ran my accounting office with honor and integrity, refusing to allow clients to break the laws. Interesting to look at this situation in a different light. Attorneys try to find the loophole for their clients to be free on a technicality. Our tax system has issues, but that would be the kiss of death, allowing attorneys to do whatever they see fit for their clients to avoid paying income taxes. Think about that. Think about that one. I will fight and help any parent regain custody of his or her beloved children because I was a kid growing up in a house of hell myself. I have witnessed neglect and abuse from parents left and right. I have reported countless times abuse that I've seen by parents to the proper agencies, including calling the police when necessary. I have witnessed parenting skills or lack thereof out of parents begging the system to keep their children only to lose to whomever of the pair has the deeper pockets. I have seen parents treat their children just like how I grew up. I know how they feel because I lived a life very similar. I refuse to sit in silence and allow the system to screw over more children. I have listened to disrespect from custodial parents in time. No parent on earth should speak to their children in a manner that is disrespectful. Parents gave their children a birth name, and that's how they should be addressed. They should never be addressed as jackass, asshole, bitch, or any other name they see fit in the heat of the moment. To address a child in a manner other than it being the child's legal given name, unless you have a sweet little nickname for him, is a form of abuse. I watched a parent pull up at night at a home that this parent grew up in with her children in the car, left the children in the car while visiting and drinking wine and a beer. Not concerned at all about the car being stolen with the kids in it and it running. Didn't matter. In the dark. Didn't matter. Well, it does matter because there's a lot of car thefts with children in it. Do you know what the statistics are for car thefts with children still inside? I do, because I do my homework every day. In 2018 and 2019, Kids and Car Safety documented nearly 200 children who were victims of being left alone inside a vehicle that was stolen. Contrary to what many might believe, children taken during a car theft is not a rare occurrence, and it happens even in the safest of neighborhoods. The source of that, I did a Google search and I put in the search bar for statistics, car thefts with children inside. So you can check it out yourself. When I said something to the parent that did this with their children in the car outside, I was literally laughed at. Well, they're in the driveway. It's not a big deal. Really? It's a real big deal. Because in 2 seconds, they can be taken. I could compile a lengthy list of why certain parents should not have custody of their children, but frankly, I would be here all night. Now that I've done your homework properly, What are you going to do about a case that I'm sure you have, or you may have multiple cases within your firm regarding parents with children? In your heart of hearts, you dig down deep, have a talk with him on what you should be doing. It's not a hard one. You know, I can go back and reread your oath you took. Father's Day's coming up, June 19th. How about you make sure that any father that has been screwed over by the system spend Father's Day weekend with his children? How about you extend an olive branch and help those fathers out there see his beloved children? How about that for a concept? I was blessed. God gave me 2 dads. I didn't have my father in my life until my 20s. I missed a ton of Father's Days because of it. Do the right thing and help those fathers out there with his children. And any mothers out there that play double duty because they have a deadbeat father. I'm fed up with the broken, corrupt justice system, and I intend on justice being served in cases where children are involved. No one stepped up for me in this situation. I fear no one because I am a woman of God. After selling my accounting practice in 2019, I changed careers and became an ordained minister. As God is my witness, I will not be silent any longer. I have witnessed families destroy marriages, and I refuse to allow the broken justice system to harm these innocent children any longer. I seek the truth and justice by giving those fathers / or mothers and his or her children voices in their custody cases. I look forward to seeing what you attorneys out there do after watching my video. I said this to another attorney here in the Florida Keys. If you're a woman, why don't you look at your caseload as you're their sister? How about that? A loving, caring sister. Or if you're a mother and you're an attorney, a loving, caring mother with your work. Are you doing something you shouldn't be doing? Are you part of the problem? And you attorneys out there that are male, are you dads? You part of the problem? Are you causing some fathers out there to not have their children? Well, do something about it. Now's your chance. Act like the brother, the loving brother, the older brother that protects your sister or your brother that has children. Why don't you look at your practice in a whole different light and look at your cases in a different light where you're there to protect them? Stop looking at them as defending and getting off. And the money. You know, I would have done my practice for free because that's how much I loved doing accounting. But man made it about money. But several people, I never charged them. Or I charged them a lot less amount. I always was fair. So why aren't you being fair with your clients? Or if you know of a father or a mother that is going through something and you are an attorney, You pick up a pro bono case and make it right. You help them. You help them gain their children back, just like me. I was the kid, and I suffered the wrath of my mother most of my life until I was old enough to move out on my own. And it was funny. Once I got out of that house, I was never sick, never had to go to the doctor. But the poison still remains within my body. And my doctor currently is getting rid of it. And I'm 56 years old. I'll be 57 on November 1 of this year. So don't tell me what happens in your past can affect your present or your future. Because I'm living proof. Because I'm still dealing with what my mother, who was a licensed registered nurse, did to me in my youth, who has gone into hiding because she knows what I'm saying is the truth. And she will be charged with child abuse, counts of child abuse. Just saying. It's wrong, and we have to use our voices to stop this once and for all. I tried to use my voice, but nobody would listen. They all listened to my mother, who lied. Stop listening to the parent that is talking trash about the other one, because those are the ones that are the parents that should not have custody of their children. I guarantee it. My father's never spoken ill word about my mother, not once. Now, my stepdad would tell me jokes to make me laugh because we all knew who she was. He married her a second time to protect me and my sister from her, but he couldn't take it anymore. Don't let that happen to the children that you have forced to live with a parent they shouldn't be. You use your head, and you use the law, and you do it under God. Just saying. That's how we clean up America. Let's start with these shitty attorneys that aren't doing their job. Let's start with them, who are all about the bottom dollar. It's about time you start doing some pro bono cases. Just saying. It's time we clean up the filth in this world. And you know what? We might as well start at the top with the justice system. Don't you think? That's where I think so. And that's where he thinks so, because that's why he woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. He woke me up so that I could start charting my remedies and how they're affecting me as I clear the poison out of my body, including the poison that my mother put in my body as a kid, and the tetracycline that still exists to this day. Use your voice for the greater good, not for evil. The enemy is already out there. It's time we put that enemy to bed once and for all. And the only way we can do it is to use our voices, uniting in love under God. Hope you enjoyed my video. Stay tuned. I don't know what's happening next. Love to all bunches and bunches. Bye.